Hey Babs, welcome to another beginner's guide Oni in the uncomfortable cesspool. So where was we last time? Remind you once again, we've got all these warning lights because I've literally just loaded into the game. Pretty much gone. So we've set up these two ranches. They're just coming online now, so not producing a great deal of food at the minute, but eventually they're going to be replacing our rather terrible licey meal lice food-wise. The hatchers are going to be eating minerals and producing coal for us. The Dracos are going to be in mealwood and producing phosphorite, and also we can groom them for reed fibre. We've also planted, or are planting I should say, 2 thimble reeds, which will be using our excess water. Realised I've set this up incorrectly, so I'll show you in a little bit what we need to do that correctly. Yeah, they'll be drinking our excess pea water to also give us reed fibre. Reed fibre gives us Atmo suits, which is what we need basically to step into the mid-game, but I'll discuss that more in a minute. We are also exploring. We have explored right up to the right hand side. We can see the left hand side and have unfortunately unplugged another natural gas geyser. I say unfortunate because it's annoying right now, but once we have Atmo suits, we will be able to utilise these two very easily, and they will be very useful. We are continuing to explore up, looking for the space biome, and generally just finding out what we've got up there. And we are exploring down, though we have run into a mild issue. A, to get rid of our carbon dioxide, and B, to find the oil biome, which will be down there, and is yet another step into the mid-game. I think that covers everything, so we'll unpause and get going. We are currently researching into Atmo suits so that we've got them ready when we have a bit more reed fibre. So yes, let's look at this system basically. Right, what we need it to do instead is, I need one of those. Liquid reservoir over here. So what we do need to do, we need to finish that off so that so that the thingy thing can continue. Okay. That will need to pass over like that. That will need to come out there. No, that will need to pass over like that. That's not going to work either. Oh my goodness. Right, come on. Okay, yep. We then will go that way. Cancel that one. Split that one. That's not going to work either. Or is it? Yes, it is, yes. Talking rubbish. Yep, yep. And then this. Right, I'll fully explain this spaghetti once. Once Travaldo supplies that. Once we get it all built out is what I actually meant. Off there. Put that off there. We're just trying to empty this pipe. Do want to do is I want to get another deodorizer. Put it over here. Because I'm going to be opening this area up in a minute. Right, so oh yeah, we can literally finish this off now. That will be the defining factor. So what actually happens now? Well, it's not a million miles different from what it was before, and in fact, I think mess. We can tidy this up even cleaner. Right, we'll just wait for that construction to be finished. Make it easier to see what I'm talking about. The next bit of construction I want to set up, we're going to build a farm down here. That area. Those two. So this is plugged up again. This should, yeah, you can see it's slowly starting to. We have unfortunately let about half the gas out, but you can see that this is slowly starting to come down in temperature. Okay, that's the maximum our mealwood can handle. So you see that we're all right here, even. Yes. So. The three things that we are looking at in the early game is stabilizing food, which I think we've pretty much done. We've got more food coming online, better food coming online shortly. The next one being oxygen. I'm starting to wonder why that is an issue. Because that's not being supplied. Let's make that a high priority. Oh. So that's why we will be going down slightly in our oxygen levels. And then the other one is temperature, which I honestly don't think there's any impending doom from anywhere. This is the hottest place. If anything, we're cooling it down rather than it heating us up. We will want to, in the future, wall ourselves in with a nice insulated wall, but for the moment, I think we're happy. one thing that I would like to look at is getting oxygen up and running in a more sustainable fashion, but we're probably going to look at that more in the next section of gaming. Once we have those three things covered off, those three things being organised in a why is that not? Why is that not passing through? Huh. I'm concerned this water's not carrying on. Okay, we will put in a... What was that? Force it through. It's currently down the toilet. Right, it does have a reserve on it, but excellent. So I've solved one problem and created another one. Ah, that's very odd. I've never had this before. Let's put... It annoys me that liquid bridges are not selectable through the... Okay. She's not really suffocating. She's just not able to find breath as quickly as she would like, which I can understand. Oh, I understand what's going on. Because we've not built this bridge yet. In fact, this bridge is probably completely unnecessary. Forget who we've got on this. Of course, Higby is... our new mechatronics engineer. Okay. Not a care in the world. Okay, new blueprint. Building impaired, not keen. Unempathetic, not bothered. But we've got a researcher, so we don't want RA. Suitwear and rocketry, tidying, gourmet, frostproof, not interested in Catalina either, so that leaves us, do we want some more blossom seeds? Blossom being bristle blossoms, which is a source of food and we will want later, or pinch of pepper seeds, which we haven't found yet, but I'm pretty confident we have on the map. I don't do a lot with pinch of pepper seeds, to be honest. I think we're going to go blossom seeds. Pinch of pepper seeds can make pinch of pepper bread, which is a spicy bread or something. Can also make coffee. I just have a little bit of pinch of pepper seeds go in. Don't oversell it just for the coffee, but and that's not my personal aversion to coffee. That is more the fact that that particular buff is not that fantastic. Farm tiles 1, 2, 3. Oh no. Right. Okay. So hopefully this water has sorted itself out. That one is completely unnecessary. But I'm going to leave it in because... So what happens here? You can't see so brilliantly at the minute because they're still not deconstructing this, but water comes out of these up here, across this bridge, into the filter. Into the water sieve. That cleans it, puts it into this buffer tank, comes out, across that bridge and back into the system. So the dupes are washing their hands with germy water. But, you know, apparently the system allows this. The soap must wash off all the germs from the water and their hands, so must kill all of those germs off, so it's fine, it's fine. However, once this system backs up to this point, it will then push through across that bridge, wiggle along and go into our reed fibre as before. But it will now wait until this liquid reservoir, this buffer tank, is full before it starts backing up and feeding our thimble reeds. We have completed so going to have okay, I know where we're going for the next research. I'll explain why in a minute. Meanwhile, we have two circuits, and I think I'm going to add these to this circuit. They shouldn't be on at the same time. Well, that's just a bigger safety margin to in case they happen to turn on at the exact same moment. Occurs to me, do want this one tile bigger. So while we're just waiting, I'm going to risk it and I'm going to put it on fast speed while we get some things done. I know as a beginner you are probably going to loathe putting it on fast speed. You're probably going to want to micromanage every second of your duplicant's time, but you know, literally we're just waiting for them to get doing some things. There's nothing that we need to micromanage this very second. Oh, I'm going to be turning them off meal lice. Not that we have any at the minute, it is all being turned to pickle meal. Yeah. So this one's come online. Oh, has it? No. There we go. Excellent. So we will put a Draco. We'll put that higher priority than the automatic dispenser. So they should be brought here first. We have stone hatchers. So again, the other thing, the reason this needs to be a high priority is that the second they are not being incubated, not being lullabied, sorry, which we will see someone can do shortly. Oh, no we won't, because the power's run out, which is one thing that I want to address shortly. That's the main purpose of this one going in. We're going to put in a third oxygen diffuser. A, because these are both on the same circuit, and B, because we're getting significant downtime. Nice timing, Quinn. Nice timing. Thank you. So our next build, not that they're done with building that one yet. We'll go to dig all of this out. To deconstruct those ladders, I want to put in some coal generators. We are now producing coal. We produced about 0.8 of a ton, and since the start of this streak. So let's use it and get the duplicates off the wheels. Make sure that we're not running out of power as much as we are. We have skills. Trvaldo, you have skills. It may seem a bit silly. I'm going to put it into rocket piloting because that leads into suit sustainability, which A, gives them more athletics, B, slows the damage to the suits. But that also leads to exosuit training, which again gives them more athletics, makes them faster, but it also counteracts the movement penalty that they get for wearing an Atmo suit, which means that they're faster and not slowed down by the Atmo suit, which is where everyone's going to be shortly. That is to say, wearing Atmo suits. Research, did we get? We did get there. Right. The other thing then that I want to be doing is we need to be producing 2 circuits and 1 for automation. Because A, someone's probably trying to use them, and B, without enclosing the room, this is not classified as a great one. However, so coal generator requires requires a kilo of coal per second to when it's running. Outputs carbon dioxide and 600 watts of power, which is more than enough, in short. I'm just gonna place that one further away. I want to put a storage bin just here for coal, so that it is easier to get the brain's not working. If the coal is stored in there, then duplicates or later on automated shipping machines can quicker pass the coal into them. For the second, I turn the incubators off until we have automation. That's just draining, well, frankly, more power than he's producing on that, which means that we're not actually doing any research, so, yeah. About this time, I would be considering whether or not I need to do a self-powered oxygen maker, commonly referred to as a SPOM. But with the amount of algae we've got on this map, I just don't think it's necessary. Once we've got these generators up and running, they will keep the oxygen diffusers running most of the time, if not all of the time. I think we're going to be in a very good place for oxygen once they're up and running. It's a lovely hot water vent right in the way, in the path of our central shaft. Right, let's cancel that. Let's cancel. We will come across here now, and we'll go up there. struggling for oxygen again. Sure is. So, putting the coal on slightly higher priority than the storage bin means that they will get past coal when they need it. They will request them at when they are down to 25% of their internal storage. But not an errand. Okay, I'm going to go for a quick reload. I've been seeing this happen an awful lot just lately, where the errands just aren't being generated in the first place. Still doesn't appear to be. Okay, so instead there is some sort of other issue at play. Genuinely cannot see what that would be. Because I've turned meal lice off. That's why. Why are we not cooking more? Oh my goodness, what is going on with this game at the minute? Ruby's our cook. She should be cooking all the time. But is instead choosing to do operating. That doesn't make any sense to me. Even though this is a higher priority, it's only a high. it shouldn't be. I don't understand. Don't understand what's going on at all. Okay, again, ignoring the Duke. Undigging, decreased excavation. I would rather not. Yokel doesn't matter. Luddite is not ideal, but not the end of the world. Just makes them less functional, uncultured, true taste, but a doctor, and I don't want to support a doctor at the minute. Even if he wasn't undigging, we'll just take some sunstone. Shocking. Wow. What is going on with this game? I don't understand. Now I understand why she's got to run on there, apart from the fact that this coal should be being delivered. Aha! Aha! We have a priority. An errand, rather. Okay. Okay. It's starting to do what I expect it to do now. Oxygen's getting back up there. Battery, we do. We don't yet have automation, however. Never extended the wire when I moved it. Couple of settings from there to that one. not fertilising everything because, well, I'm not fertilising everything with dirt, which, looking at the amount of dirt that we have, suggests that it is a labour problem, not a brain's not working, sorry, not a supply problem. It is a supplying problem. Actually, I really want us to start getting onto meat, which we are not looking at in the near future. Once that's been supplied, which I hope we've actually got an errand, we have, then this will become redundant. I will explain this when it's closer to completion. What's floating around in there? It's whenever the natural gas goes over it that these will help with that. Apologies if you could now hear the drilling of my neighbour. Ill-timed. Was at it all day yesterday. It's incredibly annoying. It's builder, isn't it? Who was our starting builder? Camille. So her next point will be in demolition, so we can continue down. Worked out why this isn't producing an errand. It is detecting that there is sufficient power on the network. And that's our Atmo suits. This means we can now get automation. So, sorry for hitting the mic. This gives us the automation overlay. Gives us a manual switch so we can turn things on and off manually. Gives us the automation wire, which I desperately need right now, and a bridge so that we're not connecting things. Sorry, this is like the wire bridge. That is to say, it's got no prioritizations, no in or out, no direction to it, and a duplicate motion sensor. They all have their uses, but automation wire and the bridge are the backbone of all automation in this game. Weight plate can be used, gas element sensor will be used. Look at these are all great things. I'll show you each and every one of them. I don't know what that one does though, to be honest. Sends green signals at the chosen star map location and the red signal everywhere else. Guessing that is to do with rocketry. I have never used that, don't know what that's for. I guess it's to allow usage of certain things at certain times on the star map, but I don't know. Anyway, cycle sensor allows you to set things to happen at the same time every day, every cycle, and then the timer sensor allows you to set something to happen the same amount of time every time it goes around. I'll show you the usage of that very shortly once we have researched it. Yes, so that's not generating an errand because it's detecting that there is too much power on the circuit already, and just saying, yeah, don't bother topping me up because the circuit doesn't need any more power. Which is sort of good, but at the same time I'd rather it have some coal. Oh dear. Pay. My word. Right. No pay. No. No. Do not be digging. No. No pay. Okay. Alright. Alright, you're so desperate to build that one while running out of breath, I will allow you to build that one instead. Cancel that one. Hey. We now have the resources to build this. No! What is going on? Who's got this errand? Quinn! No! Quinn! Move! I swear, Pay does not want to live. Do not build the goddamn insulator tile. Move there. Ruby, where are you? You are not building the insulated tile. Right, I tell you what. Mail. Okay, good. Ruby, no. Hey, Quinn. Nicola. Travaldo. No, you stay as you was. Ruby. Higby. Where are you? Sure you're... Yep. I demand you move there. Hey, now rescue yourself. Hey, rescue yourself. How can it be Nicola? I've just told Nicola to bugger off. Hey, why are you not rescuing yourself? Sometimes I hate duplicates. Sometimes they just do not want to live. Surely you are going to respond to doing this task. Well, that's a good idea. Hey, you could rescue yourself, eh? How is Quinn building this? Oh my goodness. Quinn, you are not, mate. Right. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Gwen, Ruby's still going. Camille, you're still going. Okay. It's gotta work. Yes! 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 Rescue yourself! Now you're gonna suffocate to death though because you've got no oxygen! Oh! And this is when I hate the game, people. This is when I hate the game. I'm not safe scumming. She killed herself. Forget her. Sometimes this game truly annoys me. And there's just nothing you can do about it. The worst. Oh my god, I do believe Camille was trying to kill herself too. Oh dear. Oh, honestly, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Oh. Right, what I was going to show you was everyone gets this debuff now because Pei decided to unalive herself, as the internet insists that we use the term. Thanks, Pei. Your sacrifice was annoying. And for zero purpose. Right, the lesson to be learnt here is you will lose duplicates. It's annoying. I'm pretty confident Pei was one of our starting dupes. She had good skills and I don't want to lose her. But you just have to roll with it. You can save scum if you really want. Honestly, half the time it's not worth it. Even when the game works against you like that, it's just not worth it. Just... Oh. That one's gonna haunt me for a little while though. Oh, oh dear. Ah. I wasn't even running on fast speed. She just decided to crawl in a hole and single-mindedly would not get out of that hole. Oh. Oh. Duplicants. Oh, I've done this wrong. Yay! Right, okay, so with automation, we get automation wire. This means I can connect this to this and this to this. What will that do? Well, when it gets to 95% full, it will stop it. And then when the battery gets down to 20% full, it will start it up again. Thus, stop wasting all this coal that is just burning even though all the batteries are full. I'll copy the settings to that one and it'll run exactly the same. At this point, you can choose to leave the jumbo batteries in as an extra, what's the best term for it, safety margin, or you can take them out in the knowledge that they have 400 joules per cycle leak. Yes, power. They have 2,000 joules per cycle leak. These have 1,000 joules. I thought we went the other way. Huh. How very odd. I suppose that does kind of make sense. 4 times the pass. Oh, relatively speaking, they have a smaller leak. They have a the easier mass. They have a 10% leak. They have a 5% leak, and then smart batteries only hold half as much as a jumbo battery, but only have a 2% leak, I want to say. Yes, 2% leak. So, personally, once these are fully installed, I'm going to get rid of the jumbo batteries. Okay, so what we're going to do down here is we're going to just put a little bit of water in. We just want 200 kilos of water? Yes, kilos of water. Just sat in the bottom of that tile. If it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more. As long as we don't go over 1,000, then it'll be spilling out all over the edges. So yeah. Right, another achievement. What have we got this time? Red light, green light. Automate a building using sensors or switches from the automation tab in the build menu. That would be when we completed that one. You see now, this has about 30%, and so this, which is obviously above our 20%, so this isn't producing anything, isn't burning coal, so consequently isn't wasting fuel. Wheels now setting that up, so we'll set that one to deconstruct as well. Got rid of that one. Oh, we have skills. If you are wondering, by the way, how I know, is this icon here, another pod. Higby, more carrying please, and then we'll get you into operating next. Quinn, our researcher, is going to go into astronomy. So you can see we've got 200 water there. We'll turn that off now. That should be enough. What I do want in there is a storage bin. Again, I'll fully explain this once it's built out. We don't have any of the shipping yet. If we look at the oxygen overlay, I think we're doing pretty well now. Carbon dioxide's not doing brilliant. We are going to continue down just as soon as Camille gets this last point, and we can get rid of that. We'll continue down. Of course, we need to replace pay, which is very irritating because pay had all the hard digging. I'm going to mourn pay myself. I really am. I mean, I'm still not putting you in a grave, woman. You stay there. You can build graves. I will do that at some point in the future when I've decided a suitable location for such. Still only got one unit. I'm mildly surprised by that. Suppose. Skill. Nicola, who we going to give rocket piloting for the same reason that we gave, was it Travaldo? Yep. In that hopefully suits are going to become a thing shortly, and I want people not to be disabled by their exosuits. So what are we going to put in here? We're going to put slime in here. Mech digger, does that mean Higby likes digging? He does like digging. If we don't get someone suitable in the next pod, then I may very well repurpose Higby for the moment at his next skill point. We're just waiting on digging now. Oh, pay! Oh! Camille and Higby will both dig if there is no construction to do. We can see that we have the airflow tiles in now, so natural gas has come out. That'll stop irritating this plant. Can't think what it's called. Bluff Briar. Excellent. Right. So, research first. Let's have a look at what research we want to be doing. I would like the... Oh, actually, let's just go for that one as well. So immediately, I would like the fire pole. That allows us to get down much faster. The faster we get down, the more breath we've got in the carbon dioxide at the minute. So, yeah, brilliant. Temp shift plate, very good for evening the temperature out in an area, or if you can build it out of cooler materials, it's quite good at cooling an area, or indeed building out of hotter materials. You can, it depends what the natural state of that material is. So ice, for example, is naturally colder. Ladder bed for building rockets. You can use them otherwise, but there is a very big downside to those. I will demonstrate when we've got them. And the rocket port extension, which is for transferring solids in and out of a rocket. And then over at this one, metal refinery gives us 100% return on our metal ores when refining them into refined metals. That's what we should be using to refine our metals. And metal tiles, build standard tiles but out of metal, which are very good for well, firstly, duplicants run faster on it. That's not what I generally use them for. Temperature modulation is what I use them for more often than not. Passing temperature from one area to another in a heat spike type fashion. And then I want to put in some automation, so if we get the timer sensor, and I want one there, and then we're going to run out of copper. I'll have one more make of that, please. Because I haven't got mods installed, it won't let me do more than that. But that is sufficient. I'll show you how they work as soon as they are installed. Come on, pod, give me a builder. See over here, this has calmed down to the ambient temperature, and that is now over pressure because it's in 5 kilos of gas, along with this one, which is actually in 5.2. I think we squeezed some gas up, if I remember correctly. We had to build that and it squeezed that the gas into a smaller area, so that one's definitely over pressure. second. I'm just going to disable that. I want to get the reed fibre up and running a little bit more. That's not what I'm meant to do at all. Ah, right. No, you're not built there. Built the automation wire yet. Hopefully we'll be getting on in a second. Excellent, right. I have just had a thought. If I don't get a digger in this, I will demonstrate a little cheat. Yeah, purely for demonstration purposes, obviously. Let's see then. So we do have a digger boop, but not taking bionic duplicates at the minute. Still, in my opinion, the electric system is not up to handling bionic duplicates. Oh, I was quite taken by Barney, until I noticed that she's anemic. Degrees, yes. Oh dear. Oh dear. So what we're going to do is we're going to save the game, and then we're going to load the game back up again. And then we're going to have a look again and see what it is generated this time. Because, little tip and trick for you, when you load the game, that is when it randomises what duplicates you get. Oh! Ren is looking very exciting to me right now. Just double check we don't want Steve, which we don't. 9 athletics is not to be sniffed at, but only 1 interest. I like to have at least 2 really, unless someone is going to be particularly specialised. Pip eggs, I would love to take the pip eggs right now. Definitely want some pip eggs. But I think Ren is ulti. Sorry, you're a bionic duplicate. So let's look at Ren then. So 4 excavation, digging, excellent. Doctoring, not so interested in. I can't remember if we've got a doctor at the minute. If we don't, then I may put him as a doctor first and then digger. Doctoring isn't used that often. But the real brilliance here is he's got mole hands, which means that he does a lot faster digging straight off the bat. Only downside is he's got a small bladder. Yeah, he just needs to go to the toilet a bit more often. It's fine. So yes, we will absolutely. We'll put him down as a dock digger, and we will take Ren. Welcome to the team, Ren. Everyone's really happy because they've got a new friend. So priorities. Where is Ren? At the bottom, obviously. Dig in! Right, we'll put him as a doctor first. Sorry, I couldn't see Nicola's medicine then. Nope, Nicola is the doctor, so we're going to ignore that. Ren is going to do digging as a priority, and should there be no digging, he's going to do tidying, supplying and storing. and then everything else. Schedule, he's going to slot in the first schedule. Lucky Goose gets to have a break really shortly. Just drop him in Pay's old spot. I'm sure that won't ruffle anyone's feathers. And his first skill point straight into hard digging. She's probably not still going to get us that far. Nope, don't get us any further than we need to be. But we do now have a dedicated digger again. Talking of exploits and slightly cheaty things, I noticed we've got another geyser of some form over here. I'm going to dig to it shortly, but in the meantime I will show you another exploit, which is this. If we go to priority and we turn it into a yellow alert to analyse it, it then gives us this up here, which I'm not going to look at, but I will allow you people to look at. I will find out in due course what it is. No spoilers, please. If you didn't see it, let me know. But, yeah. And then you can just turn it back down to 5. Stop that annoying yellow alert. And then, in that manner, you can decide which geysers are worth going for or not in the early game. Okay, yes. Why is that not? Huh? Oh, foolish. Right. So yes, we're going to automate these. So what we want to do is, the way these work is you can have them in seconds or cycles. We want them in seconds. We want to give 1 minute of time to our wrangler, our rancher, my apologies, to come hug this egg while it's being powered. And then that lullaby will last for 600 seconds, which is 1 whole cycle. And then they will have another minute to come hug this egg. So we will, at this moment, we'll just put that on a permanent off. We'll reconnect the power, and then we'll zoom in and watch someone come hug this egg. Where is our farmer? Take the dock out of Wren's. There we go, Nicola. There we go. Right. We'll reset that one more time. Well, I say one more time when the duplicants actually come hugged this egg. What is he doing now? Are they going for a shower? Yes, fair enough. This is what some people think about wasting time, and yes, I can see that point of view, but on the other hand, it gets rid of so many little annoying debuffs that it is absolutely worth it. So he's coming and hugging that now. Stoner hatch egg is lullabied. And then when this one has finished, when that light goes out, we'll reset this timer so he can come hug the Draco egg. How are we out of power? Okay, that was odd. Come, hook this one. What does Lullaby do? Lullaby increases incubation rate by 400%. Meaning that on top of the base incubation of 5% per cycle, we've now got 20% on top of that per cycle, so 25% per cycle. If this was a brand new egg, that would be 4 cycles, assuming you could keep it lullabied the whole time. What does this automation do? It means that for 1 minute out of every cycle, this one will be powered, and then another minute out of every cycle this one will be powered, so it significantly reduces our power usage and yet still gets us our lullaby. One, two, three, four. No, Camille, what are you doing? Honestly, duplicants! What are you doing now? Try and stay on this side of the wall. One of those in there. Fireball! Going to put that. Nice. I don't know what you're doing, Ruby. Why are you running? Bizarre. Okay, top speed again. There we go. Skills. Ruby. Ruby shouldn't really be leaving the base area, but, you know, seems to want to do whatever she wants to do. So we might as well at least make sure she's in a Atmo suit and more capable when she is. Just checking resources, seeing how we're going. Copper ore is getting low. I think this is the least amount of copper ore I have ever seen in a starting biome. Do see this. Dig some more in a minute. Research complete. Oh, and that's all our research currently. We'll go for this one first. Going for this oil well to get oil out of oil reservoirs. We'll need them eventually. Polymer press, we are going to want to create plastic sooner rather than later when we get down to the oil biome. That absolutely pushes into the mid game. Petroleum generator, probably one of the most used generators in the game. Once we have oil, we can turn it into petroleum, we can produce our power from that. Oil refinery converts crude oil into petroleum and a little bit of natural gas. A natural gas generator with our 2 natural gas geysers on the map already, and what we're liable to be creating, at least initially, from the oil refinery. They will be very useful, and late game they're often the most used power production. We need to get these 2 to get this. The small oxidizer tank, quite useful for rocketry. I'll explain more when we get to rocketry. Excuse me. The sugar engine uses sucrose as a fuel, but honestly won't be using that, I don't think. I've never once used the sugar engine, even when I've been producing lots and lots of sucrose. So yeah, there we go. How are we doing, peoples? That's a priority before we crush something out of existence. Suppose. New printable. Alveo Vera seed. They are from the Frosty Planet pack. They can make oxalate out of carbon dioxide, and is the main way of doing so on that starting planet. Very cool, but pretty confident they don't drop any seeds when harvesting, so one is not going to do us a great deal. Joya seeds, the Jumping Joya is one of the more forgiving temperature-wise decorative plants, basically a cactus. So that's quite good. Obviously won't be going for the boop yet. And this dupe doesn't seem to know what they want to do with their life. So we won't be going for them. I think I'm going to go for the Joy Seeds. We will almost certainly get some on this map anyway, but I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. do need to reconnect. Pipe. Lucky leader reading. Thank you. Welcome in, guys. What you been playing today? Party of 35. Goodness. He was playing Oxygen Not Included as well. Well, what you been up to? What asteroid and how far are you along? Yeah, well, new achievement. Good egg. Hatch a new crittermorph from an egg. That will be our new stone hatch up top. So we just need to add that to our drop off. Yeah, I've watched quite a few streamers playing this game, which you know, it's an absolutely wonderful game no matter what level you can get into it. Flea Bleak, first time chatter, thank you. Hello. But a lot of people don't necessarily know all the ins and outs and all the have the experience of this game, and this game for me, it's about the experience. It's about learning techniques and then applying them to the issues that you run into. I'll give you a tour in a second, but please ignore our resident body. There was a somewhat disconnect between my wishes and the duplicant's wishes, and they paid the price for it. So yes, this is our starting base. We have plumb toilets and showers. and a filtration system that cleans the water, pushes it back into the system so that they can wash their hands with germy water. You have a mausoleum. Wonderful. I will build one when I'm happier with the situation of where we are. But between our disagreements, pay gets to... between that and our disagreements, pay gets to languish there for the time being, as a reminder to other dupes to listen to me when I tell them to do something. Dreganith, apologies if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, first time chair. Lucky Leader is a fantastic streamer. It's nice to see him play a game that he is still learning. Yes, I like that, especially when you get to know a streamer so well, and then you get to see them, I wouldn't say struggle, but you know, not be the all-encompassing, knowledgeable person on a new game. I watch a guy called Echo Ridge. He's one of the reasons that I got into this game so much, and he recently played Satisfactory, which is a game that I'm very good at, and it was very interesting to see the different way in which he played the game. So I'll just give you the quick basics on this. It's a lot more complicated than it needs to be because of some bad plumbing decisions, but essentially the dupes use the facilities, dirty water comes out, jumps over that, goes into this, sits in that tank if there's too much water, or else comes out and refeeds the system. If this all backs up, then it goes down this system, jumps over that pipe, over here, and feeds our reed fibres. I've been manually turning that on and off because I'm trying to get... zoom back out a minute. I'm trying to get these thimble reeds going so that I get more reed fibre. We have 2 ranches set up. They're quite early days. We can see we've just got our little Dracula in from up here. We, I suspect, have no more stone hatches in a minute. So I'm going to switch back to normal hatches for the minute. These incubators are on a timing system, which turns on for a whole minute. I'll explain that overflow in just a second.
Dreamscape just followed.
Dragonith, thank you for the follow. This turns on for a whole minute and then turns off for a whole cycle. That allows the duplicants to come, cuddle, and apply the lullaby effect to the eggs, which means that they will hatch in 4 cycles, assuming we can keep the lullaby buff on. We will see that happening momentarily. There we go. Nicola comes in, gives it a hug. It's lullabied. That means that will now hatch in 4 cycles, assuming it was brand new, which it wasn't anyway. It will be hatched by the end of the cycle. And then that turns off, this one turns on, and now Nicola's going to come hug that one instead. Basically, they're exactly the same sensor, just offset by a minute. So the overflow, I will just pause that because I've got a new pod. The overflow. Bridges that have an in and out have priority. So, all the fluid comes out of these facilities, comes up here and goes into the bridge, because any entrance on a bridge is priority over continuing along the pipe. So it jumps over that bridge, goes up there, through this facility, gets cleaned, through the tank, and back out here. The priority when exiting a bridge is that the existing pipe takes priority. So if I just draw this kind of system, anything coming along here will jump over to this bridge and try and go on here. If for any reason this is full, either that backs up or you've got another liquid coming up already filling that line, this will not push in because it waits for an empty gap. That empty gap could be if you've got a small amount of water in there and you're pushing water in, it will fill that blob up. It will fill that pipe first. Or if you have a different liquid, it literally waits for a hole in the flow of the pipe before it fills it. You can have more than one liquid in the same pipe. Not suggested though. Once that backs up and that stops, obviously nothing can get in this bridge. Technically the bridge doesn't hold anything, so it will continue along the pipe, and that's what we have here. Our pipe continues there, jumps across there, squiggles about due to my terrible plumbing decisions, and feeds the reed fibre. That is the same with all bridges that have an in and an out. The electric ones and the automation ones, I don't think I've actually got any bridges on this playthrough at the minute. They literally just do the not connecting to the pipe that you're jumping over, as opposed to giving any sort of priority. Electric and automation run both ways, so help if I'm on the correct overlay. Yes, so those don't matter too much which way around you put them, or there is no priority. The electricity and the automation signals just pass through the whole network. Quick blueprint then, and then I'll continue the tour. Unempathetic, don't care. Decreased medicine, they're not a doctor. That would be the only time I cared about that one. Noodle arms, do care. Will never take a noodle arms unless they are the best dupe otherwise in the world ever. But noodle arms is just a big no to me. Gastrophobia, unless they're a cook, don't care. Luddite is one that always piques my interest. Lots of duplicates, even when they're not an operator, often end up operating, so that one is a bit of a red flag to me. Bottomless stomach means they eat twice as much as a normal duplicant, count as 2. It's one I would stay away from on your starting dupes, but so long as you've got your food under control, just be aware that it's there. It's not that scary. Lucky leader, I was using the inputs of the gas reservoir for the same purpose. That's way easier. Yes. So definitely not taking Hassan, because he's an operator, but he's a bit confused about what he's doing. Frankie is a janitor. We are a bit struggling with pick 'em up, setting down dupes, so possibly does better while in space. Not going to send a janitor to space necessarily, so bit of a useless one. Operating, so we're in farming. See, we could do with a bit of farming help and suit wearing. We're getting into suit wearing shortly, all being well. I think we are going to take Lyra as a farm op. We could take a Lum. We don't have anything underway yet that would support a Lum. Excuse me. So they would stay wild for a while. Lums produce a lot of food, and they also produce peat, which has lots of uses. Not least, it can be used as a generating fuel source. I love Lums, but not for this playthrough, not on this planet anyway. Yeah, we're going to take the Lyra. We have a bed for Lyra, we have a table for Lyra. We need to set up Lyra's priorities, which are to be a farmer first and foremost. We'll get her some ranching later, so we'll put that on there. And then we want her to be an op. Not going to care about... I'll tell you what, we'll leave cooking up there too, should something happen to our cook, not least that I'm having arguments with Ruby too, so yeah. So if you don't know about this priority system, they will, fairly intuitive, but they will do the most arrow ups first, then the next arrow up, then the line, then the single arrow down, the double arrow down, and then we'll never ever do anything that is X'd out. If they are given a choice of the, for example, if they get down to the down arrows, they will start at the left, so they'll look for something to attack, then they'll look to do some life support, some toggling, doctoring, so on and so forth. All this priority system does is dictate which of those attacking, toggling priorities are most important. So, for example, if I was to say that's a 7, that is the most important digging command currently on my map. That is the one that any people who are looking for digging tasks will do first. Schedule, I need to set up a new schedule. No, I don't. Lyra can slot in with Digby on schedule 4. And skills, Lyra needs some more. Going to ignore farming for the minute and put them in carrying. Carrying gives them a massive boost to carrying. I try to get that on every single duplicant. Just makes them more productive every time they're wandering around with materials. Camille is now going into demolition because I have some gravitas buildings to get rid of that are currently blocking our way down. Well, not fully blocking, but it's annoying. I just want one shaft, thank you. Phrasing. Oh, and that's our research complete. Oh no, not fully complete. We've got one more task to do on the research. Yes, so the ranchers. This is 100 tiles ranch, but I've put in a door and a tile Hatches can jump 2 tiles, so putting this in place means that they can't get past that. They take tiles out of the room, so that's a 97 tile ranch. That's just to bring it down to the maximum size of 96 tiles. That can be placed anywhere except there, because then that would block off, or well, there, or there. That would then block off the rest of the room and make it a very small room. If you don't have the maximum size, then these guys will get overcrowded, not be happy about it, not lay eggs as often, not eat as often, just basically become much less constructive. Yes, you can intentionally build a smaller branch and figure out how many tiles. Basically they need 8 tiles per, no, not 8, 12 tiles per hatch. Figure out how many tiles you've got and limit. At the minute I've set mine to 8 because I can fit 8 in here. There is another, I'm not even sure if I've researched it yet. Yeah, creature comforts, sorry. These buildings allow you to put an extra critter in a ranch, and they will still be as happy. They're a fairly new introduction to the game, and I don't use them that often just because I'm not used to using them. Absolutely valid, they do take up space, but I'm just using older designs that I'm used to, so basically if I want more than 8 hatches, I'll build another ranch. Then this one is exactly 96 tiles. Again, we were supposed to be aiming for 8 Drecos in this one. Drecos, if you don't know, can be sheared for reed fibre. I'm not currently shearing them, partially as an oversight, but partially because they will never regrow their scales. They need to be in a hydrogen atmosphere to regrow, and I've not set that up. I'm going to have a second ranch where we are doing shearing, but I want to get underway with Atmo suits before I put that in, because it's going to involve funny gases that the duplicants don't like. But the reason that I'm feeding them on mealwood is that increases their chance to lay glossy Dreco eggs. Glossy Drecos have plastic scales instead of reed fibre scales. As well as the Drecos eating this mealwood, we're currently eating this mealwood. They eat mealwood straight off the stalk, rather than harvested mealwood, and they lay phosphorite, which is useful, has uses. It's not the most useful resource, but it is useful. This is our main farm. Once this is a bit more up and running, we plan to move over to meat, which is a better quality food, and denser in calories, less duplicate labour involved in upkeeping. We have what is known in the community as an evolution chamber over here. We regularly sweep the eggs out of both ranches, put them in here. If we need one, we take them out and put them over here. The duplicants can reach through the doors. The eggs just drop through pneumatic doors, by the way, if you was unaware. And then they just sit, any that we don't need, just sit in there, and will eventually hatch. Unfortunately, the critters that we put in there don't know how to swim, so they evolve into their final form of meat. which we can then just pick up and grill into lovely barbecue for our duplicants. So we're done on that research at the minute. That's for future tasks. This one I won't explain fully. We're going to go for again for future tasks. But in short, as well as giving us a hydrogen generator, which basically burns off the hydrogen gas and gives you electricity, everything else here is some form of upgrade to wiring. I will go into deeper dive of that when we get to setting up a bit more dedicated system for electricity. Talking of electricity, we've currently got 2 circuits, both running on coal generators that are automated on smart batteries. Smart batteries work in that, depending on the settings that you apply to them, they will send a green signal to your power generator until they are this percentage full of power, and then when they drop below this percentage of power, at which point they will turn red until the generator to stop producing, thus not burning fuel for no reason. But when they drop below this, we'll change from that red signal back into a green signal to tell them to start producing more power again. The reason we have 2 circuits is because the maximum load of this basic 2-strand wire is 1,000 watts, and we have more than 1,000 watts worth of potential load on there, but that includes these 2 incubators, which I've already told you turn on at separate times. And then this one over here is running at 9:15 if everything turns on at the same time. I have left the wheels there just if the duplicants are bored, like Higbee there, they'll jump on and produce a bit of extra power for us. Otherwise, they're next to useless. They technically could be removed now, they're just saving us a little bit of coal. If I didn't say coal, which the hatches are producing for us, when they eat minerals, they then poop out coal. So our coal has gone up 3.5 tons since the start of the stream, even though I've installed these since. A tiny little bit I think I've dug out over here, but the majority of that has come from our hatches. Anything else I should show you? Rooms. So everyone's just in barracks until you get plastic. You can't really upgrade bedrooms, and everyone's getting enough morale at the minute anyway for what skills we've given them. That's the maximum size of barracks. If I get any more duplicants, they will be in a second barracks built over this side. CR2 stables, we have a washroom, which when used gives us a morale of 2, and we have a great hall, which is where the big part of our morale comes from at the minute. Great halls are very easy to make. It's basically a mess hall with some sort of recreational building. Even though I could read it, my brain could not process that word at that moment. In this case, we're using a water cooler. The water cooler can even be disabled, if you don't want to waste the water, if you're on a planet with less water on it. Yeah, one recreational building doesn't even have to be a water cooler. It's just the easiest one to come by, and some sort of 20 points of decor item. In our case, we've gone for a flower pot with a suitable plant in it. The only suitability that you need is that it will survive in your atmosphere and temperature range. All the plants will give you 20 points of decor. It is literally just down to which one will survive in your area. New printable. Don't need farmer. Also undigging. The reason I don't like undigging or the building equivalent, oh sorry, that's just decreased excavation. So when they can't dig or they can't build is when they get themselves stuck in some corner that they've dug a hole or they've walled themselves in somewhere. They then can't rescue themselves, and obviously they're the person probably most qualified to do so. So don't mind undigging if they're not going to be a digger. Don't mind building impaired if they're not going to be a builder. But dislike the ones where they literally can't do them. Again, dislike Luddite, just because most people end up operating at some point or another. Don't think we need another farmer though. Definitely don't need another researcher at this time. Cooking, digging, I think I'm just going to go for the seeds. Joy Seed is one of the best plants. It has a range from 0 to 100 degrees, which I think is the biggest range of any of the decorative plants. Higby then is our mechatronics engineer. So later on, when you get solid shipping, that is to say moving solids about on automatic rails, you will need a mechatronics engineer to build most of the shipping machinery, and so we're training Higby up to be our mechatronics engineer. As I say, most duplicates carry anyway, makes them more productive, but it is required to get into mechatronics engineer. So now we're going to start going through this tree. When we finish that, then we'll start improving his building. Travaldo is our janitor. We are pushing him into suit sustainability and exosuit training as well, because as I say, we want to get into exosuit shortly, and there's a big debuff while exosuits themselves prevent you from getting other debuffs. There is a movement penalty of wearing an exosuit, but getting into exosuit training counteracts that. It doesn't actually get rid of the debuff, but it gives you a buff that is the opposite of the debuff. I think the only other thing I've got to show you is down here. We are building what is going to be a mushroom farm, dust cap farm. So they require to be in carbon dioxide, and they need to be fed slime. Slime off gases polluted oxygen, but by storing the slime in these bins with at least 200 grams of water in them, that should stop the slime off-gassing. That means that we can store it here and not keep pushing the carbon dioxide out of the way. The main thing before I finish this is I need to dig out this area, but Pei was our digger, and unfortunate that she decided to disagree with me about how important she was to the colony. We now need to train up our new digger before I can get that out of the way. So that's more than enough water already. We will stop that being supplied and we will get rid of both of those. We can actually start planting in the dust caps, but as time goes on, this carbon dioxide will be sinking further and further down, hence why I'm trying to make a bowl to catch the carbon dioxide, that being the heaviest gas in the game. So that should sit there nicely. Anything else comes down, it'll sit on top and slowly float off to the side. I think that's about it. We have explored and found the left, we've explored and found the right, we are exploring up, again foiled by Pei's disagreement with me, and we are attempting to get down at the bottom of the Terra map, which is the one that we've started on. Is a oil biome, and that's where we're trying to get down into. We want some of that lovely oil to turn into petroleum. Oil and petroleum are both very useful liquids, but the petroleum allows us to make plastic, and plastic is the gateway to, in short, a lot of things in the mid-game. I think that is everything. I can see that duplicates running, which means that I must not have queued up enough tasks for them. I believe now, actually, everything that I've set is now diggable. Hey! Thank you, Ren, for saving us from base stupidity. But we are over time. So I am going to call it there in a second. Let's look for who we might raid into next. I have an idea, if they are streaming. Ooh, so they're not streaming Oxygen Not Included, but they are streaming a clay game. They're streaming Don't Starve Together. This is Jackson Virgo. He's becoming a good stream friend of mine. So let's all go in and say hi to him. Have a good time with Jackson. Okay guys, I'm back on Monday with more Satisfactory. We'll be finishing off the early stage of the huge coal factory, coal power plant, that is to say, and then back on Tuesday with more Beginner's Guide only. Let's pause that before it carries on and does things that I'm not watching and can't explain to you. So I will see you then. Cheers guys, bye bye.